We're going to discuss driving in the rain in rush hour on the expressway. It's very dangerous right now. People are trying to get out. They're driving fast, they're late, it's wet out here, it's becoming more and more dangerous. You got to put it on your seatbelt. We want to make sure everything is car secure. We want to put our foot on the brake to secure it. Car has started. We have to look around because we are in a gas station and people are coming in and out getting petrol. And I'm gonna look. And now I'm turning hand over hand. There's more than one way to turn the steering wheel. And then I need to turn on my wipers. This is a good time to make sure your wipers work. Obviously, you're out here in the rain and we want to look and we want to go in the middle lane. Everyone's got to work hard. We all want to go the same place, but we have to work together. This is a really difficult turn and you see me looking and checking. So I really have to extend. If you really want to learn how to drive, here it is right now. You've got to come up and look an inch forward. It's called showing the car. I have to make a 90-degree turn, so I really have to look and check my surroundings, and I'm trying to be as careful as possible. Here's my gap, and then I go in real easy. If I hit the gas too hard and the turbo boost kicks in, I'm gonna slide all over the road. I know it's gonna be dangerous on the expressway because of the rain and the time of day, so I really wanna try to mentally prepare. I don't know what can be in store out there. People could be driving really fast, they could be driving really slow, a car could be flipped over, people could be road raging and dueling against the semi-trucks coming from Canada. We just don't know. What I do know is I gotta be really careful and I wanna take my time. So that's your thought process once you get out here. And you wanna be safe whether you're late to work, on time to work, or just getting where you need to go. Typically, I drive clients in the morning. We're out here on the expressway preparing for the road test prep. This is focused on individuals 18 to 36. That seems to be the population that doesn't want to drive and that has anxiety. I'm going really easy on the gas and I'm turning slow. If I turn fast, I'm gonna slide. And this is the second driver's seat car we have. The first one was in an accident with a client that rear-ended a semi-truck. So I gotta go really easy. I'm trying to drive in the grooves right now. And if I go any faster, the rear of the car will spin out and over-rotate. And you see me looking and checking traffic. And I'm at about 30. This is where I look over my shoulder and you see me accelerate. And then I'm out here. So I'm trying to settle down. Eventually I will get to the middle lane. My blinkers on. You see me really looking. And I gotta settle in. I don't wanna be chasing cars, but also I don't wanna hold traffic up. A lot of beginners just tend to drive off pace. I was driving a woman who was 27 last night, second drive at night. I felt really sorry for her because she was grabbing the wheel really hard and I was trying to support her, tell her to relax and guide her, and that's my job. Because when you watch individuals teach someone how to put together a computer, how to put together a motor, how to build something, you're looking for those special elements to teach them so they can be successful. And I try to show success. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's very difficult to teach adults. It's very difficult to teach teens because they think they know everything. They don't wanna listen to me. They're disrespecting mom and dad. And it's a whole fight when I try to teach them best practice. I have different computer programs that I apply to help them. And I'm gonna be creating some computer programs to help all of you master your anxiety with driving. I'm at about 60. I'm trying to drive in the grooves and take my time. And the general public has a lot to consider when they drive. Safety is the number one aspect. I'm trying to be safe. I'm not trying to be over aggressive on the gas pedal, and I'm trying to keep space. In our discussion yesterday, we talked about lane positioning, we talked about space, and as you can see, it's not the greatest day. And in some places around the country, you can get a ticket for driving at the speed limit when the weather is adverse. drivers should have on headlights. We were also discussing the G2 test and also the test in the UK. Each test has challenges. It's not going to be professional for me. I'm going to get over one lane. You see me looking. You do grip the wheel a little bit. I'm a big guy, so I'm kind of squeezed in this car a little bit. You want to adjust it to your body type. I'm 6'4", long arms, long legs. Typically people 5'10" to 5'11" have a difficult time, and then individuals over 6'3". So I'm that individual over 6'3", and I'm trying to squeeze my brakes. They're tapping brakes. These brakes are wet, so they stop. They bite very slow. Also, my client, oh man, I'm by this semi-truck. Oh, I don't want to be by this truck. So this is a lot of stress and anxiety, being by this semi-truck. Sorry for raising my voice, but you need to understand that I'm trying to accelerate and get away from this, but I'm stuck in this vortex of the truck pulling me to the right and the driver ahead of me who's not properly accelerating. So I don't, oh my God, I don't want to be by them at all. So you have to learn to get in at that blind spot and that driving truck vortex that will pull you in and get out. We also talked about when you're by a truck, you need to turn on your windshield wipers at a higher speed because you're going to get sprayed. Let's look. You see all this spray on here? And I've been in vehicles where clients did not properly service windshield wipers, and then they don't have adequate visibility. Next, you see a school bus from the country. They have that siren on top to alert drivers. It's really bad out here, and I'm just trying to settle down and take my time. This means drive slower and just settle down. And I'm trying to do that for the long haul, going into Chicagoland. And as you get toward Chicago, you're going to have a greater volume of traffic. Speaking of this dark vehicle, it's really hard to see with tinted windows, because I had a client that had tinted windows, and I told them, you need to take the tint off or I'm not going to give you your lesson, because they could not see over the road, and they had signed a pro contract, but yet they did not know how to drive. So you'll be surprised how many people do not know how to drive. And that's why I'm trying to help give you, I'm trying to squeeze brakes and be real smooth and real soft. If I hit these brakes hard, I'm gonna get rear-ended. And I don't wanna get rear-ended. I'm really adjusting this mirror more because the bumps in our country knock the mirror out of adjustment. So I'm just trying to be smooth and gentle, not get caught up in fast driving or aggressive driving. You can see in my voice, you can hear and look at my face, I'm really trying to stay calm and get that self-talk. I'm really trying to squeeze really easy, because I don't want to get hit and I don't want to have an accident, because rear-end collisions are more common than you think. And I'm just really trying to take my time. When to WC, don't know what this means. You can also have custom plates. So we're at about 15 miles an hour in a 70. Rain is the big equalizer that's gonna slow. Oh, there's that semi again. Oh, I wanna stay away from that. And then if you hit the gas too hard, see what happens? People slam on brakes. So you need to go at a speed that is safe. Yep. There's that semi again. Oh. When you hear that sound, it's usually too late. We want to stay away from them. And you can see the flow of the traffic. I had a client say, why am I looking ahead? You're looking ahead to look at the volume of traffic. You're looking ahead to look at the traffic scene. This information will give you a perspective to help you, if you're 18 to 36, to help you manage your tests. Because that particular group, they usually have a child, they're working, but yet they don't have a license. So my target is that group. And you need to, I'm trying to squeeze again, and there's nothing I can do. And this is where you can get rear-ended because people aren't paying attention. So I'm just gonna settle down Just take my time. And whatever the road brings to me, oh, that's a piece of foam. Wherever the road brings to me, I'll just deal with it. But you really need good tires. Tires are the only thing between you and the road. And when I go through this, you should be listening and writing down information, because this will help you on your knowledge test. Because I'm an instructor, I have access to information that can help you pass your test and get on the road. Some other elements will be coming in where I'll have some digital products that you can order, and we're putting these things together as we speak because I've had a lot of requests. They have a manual, you can hear them shifting gears, and I'm looking around the curve. It's slow, there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to take my time and wait. And when you take your time and wait, you're able to kind of settle down. You do get a little irritated, have a little bit of anxiety, but every other driver out here is going through the same emotions you are. And there's nothing you can do, because if you get angry, you're going to end up crashing your car, going to the hospital, and then eventually getting arrested because you caused a multi-car collision. So I'm trying to keep space, as you can tell, and most drivers are trying to do that. So if you were driving with me, I would have you in the left lane or in the middle lane. It depends on what you want to learn. If you want to be a little bit more peppy and quick and effective, we're going to be in this left lane, kind of moving along. We're at a slow 40. If you want to go a little bit slower, say 30 or 27, we're going to be in the middle lane. Oh, that truck again. And I'm looking ahead and lifting my foot, because around this curve, there really is a steep curve, and you can see those lights pop on. And I'm just going to go in and squeeze real easy. Ooh, I'm running out of room. I don't want to hit them. You saw my eyes get big, and you saw the bump. So, and what this will do, this will focus on your weaknesses. You hitting the ass too hard, you squeezing the brake too fast. And if you don't learn this quickly, you're going to end up hitting a vehicle. And I want to show you real life, because this is your perspective out here. And I'm not going to lie to you. So this is why I'm showing you this, because if you drive long enough, now the teens, they won't be out here in the morning during rush hour, unless it's the summer. And I decided to create a virtual digital portfolio for you guys. But more adults are going to be driving to Chicagoland, Houston, Texas, Detroit, Michigan for the draft, Los Angeles, California, okay, Montreal, Quebec. And this is a different type of driving where you know you're the only person who is going to have a salary. You know, without me, the family's not making money. So you got to keep that in mind. And the pressure is on to get to work safely, to deal with the drama at work, and to try to be your best. And that's what I need you to understand. I want you to be your best authentic self, and it takes a belief. And you got to be truthful. If you're weak at something, I used to be weak at making lane changes in the middle of the intersection. I should never do that. It took me a few years, so I'm having a real confession with you. And if you have a confession, put it in the comments. But over time, I realized that if I keep making these lane changes, I'm going to get killed. So I really made a conscious lane consolidation that said, I can't change lanes in the intersection. I don't want to do that. It took several years of discipline and work, and I'm an instructor. So I want you to hear this and understand we're all human. And I'm not going to pretend I know everything, and no one knows everything. And a lot of these so-called geniuses out here, they tell you they know everything, but they don't show you the real life grind. And that's what I want to show you, because it's going to make you some type of way. It's going to make you angry, upset, frustrated, calm. It's going to change your perspective. And you need to learn to, excuse me, you need to learn to take a step back and realize it's not you. This is real life, and this is why so many people don't want to drive. They don't have the patience. People are very irritated. And then there's an answer. The answer could be Uber. The answer could be Lyft. But then we have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who want to drive. And it's raining even harder. And we're at a 30. So you just need to take, and then at work in the lab, you're going to have the product coming in late. We're going to miss some of our customer acquisitions. So, and clients don't want to hear excuses. They want to get that product there. And when I drive people, I'm honest. I had a young lady who was a pro skater, and she said, "You remind me of my coach. You explain things clearly, you set high expectations, and you make me figure it out." And that's what I try to do. And Layla Humosi, I've been watching some of her content, and you gotta be that honest person if you want to grow. I'm gonna grow and teach you. And I'm not having fun right now. We're going at 30. I still have another hour, and it's stop and go traffic that sucks. But, oh, see, I'm trying to squeeze real smooth. There's a white truck behind me that's going real fast. This is your space cushion. We discussed this in class. And if I hit the gas too hard, this car is going to over-accelerate and over-boost with the turbo. It's going to hit 7 pounds because I did research on this vehicle. And it's got that turbo boost. If you hit that throttle, see how they slid over? That's not a real lane change. And they took my space. But at the same time, you have to make more space. And their left brake light is a little dim, and that can be confusing. We have a solid yellow to the left. This is the left side of the road. We're in North America. This is across the United States. We have a white line to the right. We discussed this yesterday in pavement markings. And I have some digital links that will be put in very soon that you can interact with. Now I'm lifting my foot again. We're going on a downhill drop. And then I'm squeezing. I grabbed that steering wheel, my baby. I didn't want to hit them. And you're saying to yourself, my God. But you need this to build balance. You need this to build mental awareness. Because there are going to be some days people are going to treat you like crap. They're going to cut you off. They're going to slam brakes. I'm scanning, see? They didn't use a blinker. Are you understanding what is out here? And it's an accident. It's road rage. It's selfishness. It's people not putting and thinking of others. The white truck needs to get over to the right, and then we'll have better lane positioning and more freedom. This is freedom, and many people want to sit home and have mom and dad drive them. And your parents are getting older. They love you, but ooh, I'm squeezing my brakes again, and I don't want to be over aggressive on the steering wheel. And I'm going to continue to grab. That turbo boost is kicking in. You can hear it. But you can't let the car control you or the environmental standards out here. You gotta, okay, it's wet. I need 3 cars. People are cutting off and aggressive driving. I need to be more balanced. Because people will always try to knock you off your block, whether you're in school, you're working, professional life, business relationships. Because if they see that you have a competitive advantage, they're going to try everything in their power to take that competitive advantage. So I need to remind you to stay balanced. The lane is opening up. I'm going to go ahead and get over. You see me checking my blind spots. The boost is kicking in. And I'm going to continue to stay really smooth. And I'm not trying to turn the wheel as much because this car is so powerful it will levitate and drift. So I'm trying to make small micro adjustments and stay consistent. Because if we have a sudden backup, I don't want to hit this, what is this, a GMC? You need to know the vehicles and the limitations so you can be consistent. And I'm lifting my foot again. And I'm making those adjustments. You see me make a lane change, 3 blinks. And now you want to be in a groove. I'm sorry about the noise. You do feel a little anxious right now. And you're trying to be smooth. Slower traffic stays to the right. And I'm trying to look ahead and be very deliberate and on purpose. I'm staying in the grooves. Taking my time. Being patient. There's that semi-truck again. Oh, don't want to be by that. I'm trying to be very deliberate. It's called the coefficient of friction, where the tires are gripping the road. And that car came over again. And that's that Q-Max or C-Max. That's that hybrid. So I'm staying smooth as possible. And your ankle does hurt because if you're hitting the brake, on and off the brake, on and off the throttle, it takes focus. And a lot of beginners don't have that focus. If you don't have focus, you're going to lose perspective of the goal. The goal is safe driving. And the goal is to move you forward. Trying to stay with the flow but not tailgate. Trying to make small steering adjustments and accelerate through the curve so the car will accelerate. A lot of beginners lift their foot and then the car loses momentum and it kind of stalls out. I'm looking ahead to the white truck. Trying to be as consistent as possible and not trying to be overly aggressive. This curve is really dangerous because centrifugal force will pull you to the left, and I'm trying to lift my foot, and you saw the car kind of wobble through, and now I'm deaccelerating some. And this is very sketchy and is very dangerous because of the traps that are here for beginners. You need to wear some thin toe shoes. Crocs are good, Converse are good. You don't want to have platform shoes on, hard Nikes, Timberlands, because you won't get that throttle response that you need. They just cut off. That white truck got cut off, so they got pissed off. But I'm not mad at that white car. So now the white truck is road raging. Are you learning something out here? And these violent things can happen at any time. So you got to be ultra aware, focus, because you can end up injured. So I'm just trying to stay smooth as possible and not get overly aggressive here. Boost is kicking in. Excuse me. The boost is kicking in again. See, they just cut me off. And then they're going to slam brakes. See, they're putting us in danger. And it's not worth it. And that's one of those ultra mini cars. And see how they set us up for failure? So you have to kind of see, erratic road changer. Erratic road changer. So you've got to stay away from them. And stay smooth. They've changed lanes 4 different times, and it's not worth it. And I'm going to squeeze my brakes. This is the dangerous part because their ramp is backed up. I don't want to get rear-ended, and I'm looking at my mirror. People on some road rage mode stuff. You can't take that personal. They have chosen their own situation. So you really have to take a step back. It is very stressful. I'm not going to lie to you and pretend that it's fun. But you're going to get a real perspective where you got to stay balanced, have to take your time, and then you kind of reflect on what you need to do in life. I know I do. People who say otherwise, they're not telling you the truth. Okay? And this is another 3 to 5 minutes stuck on a ramp, and there's nothing you can do because the volume of traffic in the infrastructure outweighs the elements that the society has put in. There are more cars than infrastructure can properly handle. So what does this mean? You need to leave earlier or later. That white truck ran a stop sign. They didn't stop, and that causes a lot of problems. Turn on left turn signal. And I'm going to wait a moment. I'm going to wait patiently. There are pedestrians here, there are cars here, so you really have to be aware, and we just don't know what's going on. You often wonder what people are doing here, and you have to be aware there's debris to the left. We're still in a lot of danger because we're on the off ramp, but people are going 70 and 80, and then they slam brakes, and there's a multi-car collision. So my back is throbbing because I've been in rear-end collisions before because clients slam brakes. People aren't paying attention. So I'm just trying to be really proactive and be that good defensive driver. I'm trying to go in real easy. Take my time. Turn on that blinker and squeeze and stay consistent. And then they just cut off. So I'm coming up to the edge and I'm looking, and I'm waiting for a gap. A gap is a space. And this takes the work. This takes preparation. I'm just going to wait patiently. I'm waiting for my gap. Here's my gap. And then you accelerate through. You're going to hear that boost kick in again. Sorry about the bumps. This infrastructure is not the best. If this brought you value, watch all the videos, leave comments.